Thanks for joining the Bry-Fy podcast again. This is episode 267. We are still looking at the new Avengers, the Illuminati team, and we're going through issues number 13 through number 23. So it should be a lot of fun. Of course, I was looking at myself in the camera, which I do. And those of you listening on the podcast, of course, you do know that for the review portion of the podcast, we also do a YouTube part as well. So, I will be talking about cameras and visuals and things like that. Please do not get confused on the podcast. Anyway, and also you guys over there on YouTube, if you want to hear more when I go into like the nifty nerd news and all that other stuff, please hop on over to Podbean, bryfypodcast.podbean.com, or any of your catcher apps, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher, and you can listen to the rest of the show all over there. And then, of course, if you want to do more and get more extra content, you can also check out Patreon, where I do other videos, other audio posts, just random stuff. We're getting some more followers over on Patreon, which is really great. I think with the last follower, we've doubled our money, which because I only had like 2 people doing $1 each, and then someone came in with $2 each. So, whoa, look out. Got a lot of money now. I could buy milk once a month. Anyway, so yeah, we're looking at New Avengers issues number 13 through 23. Of course, all written by Jonathan Hickman. Art is, and Rick Remender jumps in for an issue, I believe, issue number 15. Art is done by Simone, I'm going to say all these names wrong, Bianchi, get this closer to my face, is that Rags Morales, Valerio Shitty, that's probably not how you say that name, and Kev Walker. So sit back, relax, and enjoy just kind of a little overview of what's been going on with New Avengers. Of course, the whole reason why I'm doing all this, why I'm reading these runs, is trying to get to the bottom of Secret Wars. Why did all this happen? Where did this all start? And, just getting to Secret Wars. And so that's what we're doing here. Up to this point, things have been building, incursions have been happening, and finally Black Swan suggests that the Illuminati build what she calls a mirror that allows them to view other worlds, view other universes, and sometimes other timelines. And everyone's trying to figure out, well, how the hell do we build this? Until Mr. Fantastic realizes, I've built one already. Because, of course, and because we don't have 2 or 3 issues of them trying to figure this out. And so it turns out that he's built something called the Bridge, which allows them to do exactly what the Black Canary is suggesting, and it allows them to view other multiverses, or the multiverse, so they can see other universes when their incursions happen. And they're trying to better pinpoint when they're going to happen and where. And what's crazy about the Bridge is when they view incursions, sometimes they view incursions that happened in the past, and sometimes some that happened in the near future. And so while all this is happening, while they're viewing stuff, of course, another Earth bites the dust. That's just kind of what happens. Every issue, Earths die. Pretty much every panel, Earths are dying in this whole, freaking series. And so everyone's really on edge, really stressing out. They're all kind of separating in their own ways to try to figure things out. Beast is doing Beast things, and Doctor Strange is trying to sell his entire soul to the devil to get ultimate power. Turns out, kind of needs to raise his line of credit because he has nothing left to sell, which is kind of crazy intense. Or they don't want what he's selling. We ain't want none of that, boy. It was kind of weird. I'm sorry for that. I apologize for my mistakes. Anyway, so through the Bridge, though, it is discovered that the Black Swan might actually kind of be the harbinger of death that they've all feared. Of course, Black Panther kind of knew this because when he first met her, she blew up a world. She had the, what was his name, Manifold or whatever, teleport her to their Earth, the 616 Earth, and then she kills him, blows up the other Earth, and is like, here, let me help you with your Earth. I'm totally not going to do exactly what I just did to this planet. To your planet. You can trust me. Not at all. And so, also, what I've realized while watching all this is Beast is actually drawn different for the fourth time this series. And like, I think they mentioned that he's kind of changing. And I think that's just a great way to say, like, artists can't draw him the same ever. And there goes my son back there. You'll see him running around, having some fun back there. And hopefully he's not pulling on the fish tank. If you just see a fish tank fall over, please like the video. No. Anyway, so of course another Earth dies by this point, and probably like 5 more while we were joking around. Now the Illuminati gets to view this other Earth. This other Earth is kind of more important because they stick around a little bit more with these heroes that we've never seen before. They're not like remakes of 616 heroes or alternate versions. They seem completely different. In fact, it took me like 3 or 4 issues to realize, oh, these are like fake DC heroes. Is what these really are. And they're called the Great Society. And they belong on Earth 4,290,001. And then I guess that's important. I don't know the importance of that number, but I'm going to assume that Hickman picked that number for a reason, because if he just did it randomly and then, you know, made me spend countless minutes trying to figure out the meaning of that number, 4,290,001, I hate him. I hate him with a passion, if that's all he did that for. Anyway, they notice that the Great Society is able to push back a world during an incursion event and save both planets and both universes without anyone dying, without anything getting destroyed. So now they're really interested. After that happens, they also view them getting attacked again, this time by map makers who come to the world, almost defeat them and destroy them, but the Great Society is able to overturn them and save their planet while the other one blows up. And first they realized, one, they had the power to push a planet away, but then they also learned that they had the power to destroy a planet as well, which, you know, is kind of crazy. And then the Illuminati see something strange, like crazier, and it turns out that the Great Society's next incursion happens right after they blow up a planet, and it's them, it's the Illuminati. So what they're viewing in the bridge is the near future. That's what they see. And so now they're all gearing up, getting prepared. Hulk comes in at this point, so, you know, they're getting their big hitters, and they're getting ready for this incursion with Earth 4,290,001. So it's 616 versus the big number. Everyone's pumped, everyone's ready. The incursion opens up, they're going, they're like, ah! And now they're about to talk it out, which is exactly what they try to do. And it's kind of like a battle of smarts, wits, and inevitabilities, because they realize there's no way out of this. They discovered that Earth, the Great Society, because I don't want to say the Earth anymore, the way that they were able to push back the other Earth in their incursion is the same way the Illuminati did it with Captain America, where Captain America had the Infinity Gauntlet. They had something very similar. It was called something different, and it was like a cube, but it had different planes, different colored planes, like the Infinity Gauntlet. So it looks like each universe has their own version of the Infinity Stones, and that's how they were able to push it away. However, when that happened, just like with the Illuminati, it was destroyed. And so now they have no means to do that again. I think they called it the Wishing Box, is what they called it. And so there was just no other way to do that again. So it looked like there was only 3 options. Earth 616 dies, 4,290,001 dies, or they do nothing and both die. And, you know, they're trying to talk it out, and it's kind of looking like the inevitable thing is that maybe we should just, you know, let both Earths die. Because it's like, although they were brought together to do things that no one else could, it's like they can't. They themselves cannot do that. They can't bring themselves to destroy another planet until Namor decides, I'm done with all this shit. Namor grabs his trident, throws it into some dude, starts a big fight, so they're all fighting, pew, 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 pew. And now we finally get the punchy we were all promised when they were first coming over from the incursion. Of course, 616 wins because no one wants to say Earth 4,290,001 every time they have to discuss the main Marvel universe. And no one likes the Great Society. They have their own little Earth to go die on. And so basically 616 has won, but now they have to do something about the other Earth. And that's where the issue comes in. Now they're having their own infighting because you save your world, your universe, but you're going to kill billions of people on this other Earth who don't deserve to die, you know, and that's like the big thing that they have going through them. And Black Panther decides, no, I can do it. I can be that person. I can destroy this Earth. And then realizes he can't. He can't pull the trigger and execute billions of people in an instant, like Thanos. And of course, Namor steps up once again because he's the fucking greatest superhero that the Illuminati has ever seen and will ever be. This causes huge infighting between them. The team ends up breaking up. Namor grabs the Black Swan and some other people and decides, hey, I'm going to start my own Illuminati group, call it the Cabal, and we're going to get shit done, even though no one else can. And so that's kind of where we're at with the new Avengers now. The team has split up, and there's one group that wants to still try to solve the problem without murdering everybody. But then you have the Cabal now that seem pretty alright with just blowing shit up. And that's kind of cool to me. So now I guess it's a race against the clock. And it's going to be really exciting. Of course, artwork still looks great in all these issues. I can't remember which artist it was. It might have been Rags Morales has some of my favorite artwork throughout this series. It looked really great, if I remember correctly. Story's still really interesting. I'm still finding the new Avengers way more insightful and way more interesting than the main Avengers run. Although, you know, I guess it's because the Illuminati's actually dealing with the behind-the-scenes threat, which is the incursions, while the Avengers, you know, they're just reacting to what's going on. But that's why I've been enjoying the new Avengers so much, or so much more, is because it still feels more like a self-contained story, unlike the main Avengers, which, you know, they have to deal with all the events and stuff, which kind of gets tedious to me. That's why I don't really care for team books all the time, or like the main books, you know, like the X-Men's, the Avengers, the Inhumans, because there's so much to cover with those stories that I lose interest. You know, I like more self-contained stories. I like more just character involvement type stuff. And, you know, to be fair, I haven't given all the X-Men books their fair due, which now with the Marvel Unlimited app, I will be able to do that. But I'm doing this right now, so hold your horses. Anyways, guys, definitely check it out. I'm loving it, and I think we'll be able to finish up New Avengers next week and get to where Secret Wars is. We're not going to talk about Secret Wars. I've already talked about it in another episode, so you can go back to my podcast and listen to that episode to get my thoughts on Secret Wars. Other than that, we're done with the comic book review portion of it. Definitely a positively charged comic. Check it out. I think you guys will enjoy it just as much as I have. Enjoy the artwork on it as well. And the storytelling is phenomenal in my opinion. So we're done with the review portion. Now let's head on to the Nifty Nerd News.